Alrighty. Alrighty. Okay, continuing this. Just killing Romina here, right? It takes me forever though. Maybe, I never know. I mean, could take forever, could take really, really quick, I don't know. Let's go with Rock Sling this time though. And only use Shard Spiral if I was gonna talk about something. I was like, a friend of mine once said that as a general, like, very high level principle, that people are just seeking validation. And I think that's kind of true to a certain extent. Like it's important. Like validation is a huge key. How do I put this? It's like a huge key part of what we do and what we say every day, right? And you have to look no further than things like social networks, right? They really get your attention, or they get you hooked, because it's the variable reward of if I write something amazing or say something right or whatever, that people will like you for it or something. I think that's how it goes, right? Kind of. And at the same time, though, seeking validation all the time, it can lead to like bad consequences, I think, right? Like, for example, if you're hooked on validation and a source of validation is external from other people or from, sort of network, then what happens is that a huge part of your sanity or well-being is tied towards something that's not really in your control, right? Because people are fickle, their interests can change very rapidly, they can be very, I don't know, like there's many reasons why, like, not a good idea, right? Because it's inconsistent. Like, it's like having your whole well-being, like, you can't really, oh, should he come after me? He was. I'm panicking here. I think it's not the panic, not the panic, not the panic. Okay, there we go. And so, could it be as simple as just saying to yourself, well, I see that pattern, and I just won't, like, setting it down, just saying, I still need validation. Like, you still need some of it, right? You can't be like completely gone from it, of course. That's a bit weird. But I mean, you can certainly reduce it. Like, okay, I got that fully dodged, right? Okay. Don't choke. Should be okay here. I'm gonna choke though. Oh, that an instant kill move? Ouch. Oh god, he's drive thing's gonna die. Better hurry up. Better hurry up. Look, at he killed though. I'm trying to hurry up when you shouldn't hurry up. Things okay now. I think that's it. One more shot. Surely. Okay, it's always the case where you come back with a calm mind and can first try shit. So validation is like, it's a bitch. Like the word, like so just to picture it, like when I first did these streams, it was extremely nerve-wracking because you think, what if nobody watches? And then nobody watched because, I didn't announce anything, and let's see, these levels don't mean anything anymore, do they? But it was terrifying. It's almost like saying, the reality is saying, okay, you are trying to do something. You're broadcasting yourself to the world, but guess what? Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. And that is like the most nullifying self-erasure kind of feeling that I know of. It's like being hated is one thing, being disliked is like pretty bad in itself. I can't really say which one's worse, being disliked or just completely being ignored. Um, Neither of them are good, but if you're able to tolerate being disliked, at least some people revel in it. I think they think it's like they have like this perverse glee in like saying, "Well, at least I got your attention." Something like that. So, how much do you get for this? Okay. Um, I shouldn't have done that, huh? You don't get like a good spell from that. That doesn't matter. I don't think I would keep playing this. I think I'm pretty much gonna cop out pretty much soon. Um, yeah. I don't do anymore anyway. Just... So, like in one of my favorite movies, The Devil's Advocate, 98, 99, or 2000, the devil was telling um, the main guy, Keanu, like, guilt is like a bag of bricks or something like that. Like, all you have to do is just set it down. Meaning, like, you don't have to, like, if feeling sorry or like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that is what's holding you back from just doing whatever you please, you're trying to tell him, yeah, you don't have to do it anymore. And just go ahead and do it. It's terrible, but because you're so strong and no one's watching, in his eyes, God is not watching. Who cares, right? Like, um, he makes it sound so simple. Like, guilt was like a bag of bricks. Just set it down. Like, the weight of the guilt, I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong. What if you just set that down? I mean, this is a behavior of criminals, I think, in some ways, right? And freedom, the line freedom is never having to say you're sorry. So, that line was really deep for me. Like, I don't know if that's the definition of freedom, but surely if you were in a position that everyone was so beneath you in a way that you'd never have to say sorry because these situations where like you're like a dictator or like just so much in power that when you make a mistake they apologize for causing you to make that mistake. Like it gets like that absurd. You never have to say sorry, right? Is that freedom? In a way, yeah. It's probably not good for you like long run because you'll become like completely tyrannical and like, but it is liberating. The other extreme, which is being oppressed all the time, where everyone's telling you at every corner that you're doing this wrong, doing that wrong. You gotta like correct yourself. That also is like that's really annoying too, right? So, not annoying too. Sorry, that's very. I guess that's the opposite of it or something. Like you can do no wrong, and then on the other side, everything you do is wrong. Like, they'll just find a way to like just say, well, that's. So anyway. What the fuck? Lock on. Ugh. Okay. Yeah. Does this go through everybody? Whatever. Oh, I didn't see you there. Sorry. Well, I said sorry for no reason, huh? There's also this a very interesting thing I heard about from I don't know who it was. It was like this guy who was saying like are all relationships essentially a kind of a power dynamic? And he was saying yes, which was very controversial because people didn't want to hear that. Maybe yes with an asterisk. Like in some ways it is, and it boils down to who needs the other one less, was his basic conclusion. And it sounded really cold, like this is what you use in geopolitics. Like dependency on something makes you weaker, right? If a country needs another country for some core anything, whether it's security or whether it's anything, right? By definition, you get weaker because that means you are forced to kind of like obey, in a sense. Like, you have to at least listen to the other person, right, in some way. Otherwise, you may not. They may deprive you of that thing that you want, right? I mean, so. And in the same token, I think I'm fucked here. This guy has a lot of HP. That hurts. That really hurts, doesn't it? That really hurts. By the same token, imagine you don't need another person for anything. Okay? Then, what power could they possibly have over you? Nothing. Because you can just walk away, right? And at that point, either they inflict violence on you or they chase you down with a gun or something. But, in, let's say, normal dynamics without, like, that kind of, like, outside the law behavior, they have no power over you because they can't threaten you with anything anymore. So you don't have to listen to what they say, right? But if you need their approval, their validation, if you need their resources, if you need anything from the other person, you're at their mercy in a way, and you have to now trust that the other person won't be a jerk with that kind of, like, knowing this. And from my experience, while everyone claims to be a good person and says they'll never exploit other people like that, I always think just give it time. Whoopsies. Was there a hole here? Oh, there is a hole here. Like, just give it time. And you'll find that, like, it in nature balances itself out anyway. Like, in a sense that, even though at the beginning, people are going to be nice to each other because it's a new, like, everyone's kind of high on a dopamine of a new thing. But once the novelty wears off, people settle into the natural balance of things, which might be, well, we'll say exploitive behavior starts to creep in. All right. I mean, a good example of this is usually a marriage where, like, okay, like at the beginning, if one person desires the other one because mating status is not the same, they will do whatever the hell the other person wants, be submissive, just because they have to. If they don't, if they act all like, demanding and shit from the get-go, they may not get anything, right? Because the person will just leave right away. But once they have secured the relationship and they found that the other person now depends on you for something, now you can reverse the power dynamic and say, well, now that you need me, I'm going to stop providing these services, X, Y, and Z, and what are you going to do about it? Because now you need me. And that's how it often, like, reverses, right, the dynamic. Like, the marriage itself can be used as a negotiation chip, right? Like, especially when the statement is anything earned while married is divided in half upon divorce, then, although this is kind of meant to be like a fair thing for people who are supporting the household, like, you can also use that law to your benefit in many ways if the earning power is not the same between the two parties. The bottom line of all of this is just this, if you don't seek validation from other people, which is very hard, I can't do that in entirety. It's like a thing you have to keep working at, like, I don't know, staying in shape or, like, keeping your mind sharp or, like, it's just not like one thing you get and you lose it for, like, you never have to work at it again. I think if you're not careful, I think if you just, let yourself slide, validation seeking is the default behavior. Yeah, just because it's so, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's like, what is it like? It's like, shit. Validation seeking is kind of like, I don't know, like eating, like you eat chips all the time, or you eat like McDonald's all the time, like, like liking fast foods, or, like, and trying to not let validation get to you requires a bit of meditative states and calmness. It's like eating healthy foods. I mean, they're good, aren't they? I mean, they can taste good too. It's just they don't have that mass instant gratification as chips, sugars, candies, But it can be done. It just requires a lot of training and sometimes pain and all that. But like once you have a little bit of that, life is a little easier overall because many books will say you're able to say no to things because usually sometimes saying yes is based upon the fact that if you're afraid if you say no, you lose validation status. Like the other person will dislike you or resent you for a reason. But if you're not afraid of this, then you can say no at will. Right? You just think of the way people treat their parents or parents might treat their children, and versus the way you treat like strangers from whom you seek approval. It's totally different. Oh, sir, I'm sorry. Did I say the wrong thing? You're so polite. And then at home is like, whatever, mom, get the fuck off me. Like the language and tone changes so. Oh, I'm dead, aren't I? Oh, no, I'm not dead. Okay. Changes so drastically because you don't need your mom's approval, but you do need the approval of the stranger. Right? But if you can discard that approval need, you might be able to talk to both people almost in the same tone and voice, which is extremely hard. Like only the most sophisticated, I think, of people can achieve this on a daily basis without having cracks. I would say like it just, yeah. So that's hard. It's really hard. Like, how do you treat someone when you need absolutely nothing from them? Is like a hallmark of their base personality. And like for myself, it's horrible. I tend to abuse people that I need nothing from. I mean, I just admit this to myself. It's the way I treat my cat if I'm tired and it's like nagging at me. Yeah, I'll do the alinity. I'll chuck the cat around without hesitation. You know? Oh, horror of horrors. I would never do that. Yeah, if it's a cat that is not yours, and people are watching, it's easy to go, oh, you sweet little thing. Pet, pet, pet. But the cat just pooped around your house, it's nagging you, you're busy, you're tired. Try to do the same thing every day, day in and day. It's not the same thing, right? Not even close. So the baseline way people treat others when they need nothing from them is often, I think, a very useful measurement of like something about their base like temperament or something, and how you would expect them to treat you over time, like as time drags on, and the need for the other side's approval diminishes. What happens to the relationship dynamic is, well, that's a good gauge, and it's hard to get a peek at that because people are very good at presenting some kind of improved version of themselves in, let's say, validation-seeking states, which is usually when you go out in public. When you go out in public, there's no doubt a validation-seeking hat comes on for most people. It's very hard to not imagine that to be true. Like, you have to. Like, if you don't do that, you go up in your, like, you got him underwear and don't even give a shit. Like, that's really weird, right? So, yeah. So it's an interesting dynamic. And I think, though, in order to achieve that, I think people who seek validation most are the ones who don't get it. Just like people who want money, the most are the ones who don't have it. That's not always true. But I mean, like, as a general rule, like, I would imagine that if you're validated all the time, you seek it less from the outside, from other places. So in other words, ooh, pretty, 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 right? Stone Coffin Fisher. This is a nasty area, though. I remember this is a nasty, nasty area. It's not fun to go through at all. These dudes are fucking annoying. 2 shots will kill him? That's good. Yeah. Do I drop down there, or is that death? I don't even know. Go down here, don't I? Yeah, okay. That is death over there. You know, there's also thing I watched about this. The and it was pretty like sensationalist about how everything wrong with Japan, and they're highlighting the new like the work style there, like where you have like working like 12 hours a day for minimal salary, and you got to go to these drinking parties you don't want to go to. This is actually true. I live here, so I've heard exactly these stories. Like, as in, like, it's not over exaggerated that people can't stand this kind of culture sometimes, you know? Like, it's just, you have to do it, and it's like, you don't have a choice in the matter. Like, but you do have a choice, right? The worst part is that it's framed as if you have a choice, but if you do not comply, they will do all kinds of weird, like, ostracization tactics to get you to comply anyway. So, like, if you don't join a drinking party, you get weird looks from everybody. Like, why aren't you going? And that's already enough to make people scared. Like, you know, what do you mean by that? There's a bit of a fear unknown of being looked down upon. It's scary. I can imagine it's very scary. You know, like you're talking about a whole group of people giving that look. Like, the fuck's wrong with you? And so you comply because, as one person said it, it's actually easier at that point, just mentally, on your psychological well-being, to just go and put up with it for like one more day, as opposed to like saying, you don't go, and then the rest of the week, people give you odd looks, or comment on that, or joke at you, like saying, I didn't go, huh? Very busy, I guess. Like, they'll give you, like, I guess, snide comments or some shit like that. I have no clue exactly what goes on, but I can totally believe that to be true. And it's gotta be kind of annoying, like, right? No joke, right? Like, and here though, imagine you were able to just go, not go to a drinking party, and then when the people give you the funny looks, either you go really ham on them, give them the middle finger, give them a glaring look like, I could end your fucking life any day. Like, then you will not have to go to any more parties, right? Because you don't need anything from these people, but you're going to get fired probably eventually, or at least get warnings from your boss. Because you need money from this company, right? That's what you work there. And what if you didn't need money, right? So again, it's the same principle. If you don't need something from the other party, you are free to be yourself, right? Needing something from the other party, money, validation, acceptance, is what causes kind of now you have to comply, right? Because in a way, I guess nothing's free in life. If you want the money, you better obey. If you want validation, you better comply or do something that deserves the compliance, right? Not the compliance, so that is a huge dynamic, I think, in social settings with human beings, right? Which is why people don't want to deal with it anymore sometimes. They just, fuck this shit, right? If you're all by yourself, there's no one to seek validation from, but it's also very lonely. Like, you know? So I guess what people really want from either life or just in general is to be validated for who they are naturally. Like, without having to try too hard. Like, just by literally, like, walking out without any kind of alteration to your natural, like, how do I put it? Without tension self, without any kind of effort, someone seems to, like, think you're awesome, like, on every level. And that's, like, intoxicating for sure, right? Probably, fuck this shit. Probably forms the basis of a lot of romantic relationships. Is this, right? This, what the hell? You serious? I know this trick from a long time ago. This is so dumb though. That's so annoying. Okay, he's fucked now. And that can be said for anything. Like, you know, a job that your dream job would be one that you just you enjoy doing it, and people want you to do it, and they shower you with love and money for doing it. That's a dream job, right? Oh fuck, man, I'm tired of this. I'll just dodge right away. Let's go. There's two of them. I'm gonna die here, aren't I? Get fucked. Okay. How to go up there? Oh, there we go. Okay. It's hard. It's really hard. You know, and you know, like for example, streamers. You know, like they can't really just be themselves anymore, can they? Because, and this is why when you have a big crowd, like a big famous streamer, they have to start like restricting their range of things they say, because, you know, you can piss off some of your crowd. That's not a problem. You know, just be real, right? You gotta be real to yourself, right? But if you piss off too many people with one comment, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna die here. Just being brain frozen. Wow. It's a lot of HP I have to tank all this crap from him. When you have too many pots, you can afford to do this kind of dumb shit. How long is the stage anyway? I know it's really long. For the next, oh god, no. Thank you. Ah, thank god. Thank the Lord. I have robbed. Which is why there's often the lyrics that come out with music from people who are older saying it's okay to be disliked. But then you carry that too far, and then I don't know, you get like aberrant behavior that's just completely unjustified. Like it's just like not even like. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a balancing act, I think, in a sense. And just skip this guy. I will skip this guy. This guy you cannot skip. This guy is nasty, right? Fire away, fire away. Yee! Oof. Like that, buddy? Like that, buddy? Yeah. Like, look at how the software engineering, like, you know, when they do the messaging services, how like the red thing becomes a whole issue, like kiroku. You know, the message was read by somebody or wasn't read. You know, was ignored or not. Man, people just hate being ignored, don't they? I hate being ignored too. It's like, what the fuck? I'm not important for your attention. Sometimes that's true. You know? But you'll notice, like, you can engineer situations where they are very interested. Like, if you piss them off, ironically, that gets them to reply very quickly. They will read very quickly because they have there are validations at stake here, right? So, wait. What? I thought we're at the boss already here. Oh, right. We are. Okay. And, I believe this dude is, I think it's Rock Sling. This dude, like, does a lot of, like, funny shit. I don't remember. After I gotta stop. Get ready. Let's go. Maybe use Shards Power too, this guy, if he gets too close. This dude, like, has a nasty moves, so. Will he stun? The question is, does he stun or not? Comes out of the corner, right? Like, he comes, like, rushing at you. There it is. There it is. Yeah, it's got a horse. It's a horsey! Maybe Shards would be an interesting test. Yay! I didn't dodge that? Okay. You say so. Yeah. What's this? What is this again? Oh, I gotta jump. At random times? Okay, that's not good. Okay, that's not good. Okay. It's a bit of a... You gotta know the patterns a little bit. Oh. Okay. What's this again? Oh, the fire coming out? Yeah, just whatever. I've always got... Whoa. Uh-oh. That was very poor performance. I have no idea how this fight goes. So he does a lot. So that icky shit comes out and the whole ground goes on fire. What if I try this night comet thing? This is good. Here, I wonder. And, yeah. I mean, the one thing can all count on. I always feel like you can't really count on people being good or benevolent or altruistic, but you can always count them being vain, like they want to be validated. That is almost a global, like, people want to eat food kind of a thing, you know? There's probably there's aberrations out there. People don't give a shit about food, but they're really rare, I think. Herky jerky, this guy. That sucks. I don't know. Okay, I got it now. I'll use Shard Spiral. Ouch! Hey, buddy. The way he, like, he just holds in the air is, like, really disturbing. That hurts, man. Yeah, I didn't buff up either. That was stupid. It's the only model I can use to explain why. You see, like in Hollywood, sometimes these stars, they go on and get these really questionable, like facial surgeries, plastic surgeries, and they look horrendous after a while. And you wonder what could have caused them. And you don't ever, do you ever see it with like your friends or like your normal people? It doesn't really happen, does it? Like, I mean, maybe you can't afford it, or you still need it, right? Because these people are like so, I don't know, in the limelight, being seen all the time, judged for their beauty and their appearances and youth. And when they lose it, it's like, okay, they'll do anything to get it back, you know? Ugh, I hate this guy. This guy's like just... I'll leave it for next time. That's it for today. Obviously, there's a way to fight this guy, and I'd have no idea what it is. Oh! Alright, gotta stretch, get ready, and that's it for today.